swear to God, I am going to destroy Fraps one of these days. I really am. So, before we begin, slight public announcement on this. This is not the LP that I was expecting to put up. Because I did the LP recording. This is the only reason the intro video went up, is because I did the LP recording, everything was fine, I cleared the game, whatnot. Fraps didn't record my microphone. I had it set to record my microphone was plugged in and not muted. There is no reason why it shouldn't have recorded my why it didn't record it, but it didn't. And that pretty much means that I can't use the footage I had before. But I am time restricted and I need to get this out the next day because I pretty much set it up to get out the next day. So my decision on this is that if this doesn't work out tonight, I am going to go ahead and I'm going to post narrate what I had before, because I have to do that. I want to get it done. I had it done and everything was perfect until Fraps just went, no, I'm not recording your microphone stuff. Public service announcement out the way. Hey guys, this is Gamer Cal. We are playing Touhou 12 Undefined Fantastic Object. I have started a new score file because this is technically like a new recording session and stuff. And yeah, I don't know what I'm gonna do with all like the outtakes and stuff I had, but let's not worry about that just now. Lunatic, Reimu A, let's go ahead and do this, and it's going to get done. It's not terribly like impossible, but I'm just like really bad at this game and whatnot, I guess. I don't know. There's a lot of randomness involved in this though, which doesn't help. Anyway, stage 1 is a decent, fun, active stage, which I do actually really like. Despite having to play it several hundred times by now, I still really enjoy playing this stage. Maybe it's just the music, I don't know. And hey, 880,880 points from that UFO. That's pretty cool. Thank you, Robin, for showing me that, for some reason, what I didn't notice myself, and that is that you get more power by getting the rainbow UFO second instead of first, so there is that. And now we have mid-boss, which really isn't too hard, but she's a lot of fun to fight, so I still enjoy this one, I really do. The spell card can wall you if you are not careful, but that happened. I just don't know what to think anymore. I'm like completely dejected at the moment from the whole thing of Fraps not recording everything. It's turning into a ridiculous thing at this point. Like, this game has cursed me for months not being able to clear it, and then when I finally do clear it, it curses me in not being able to get the recording to work properly. Just, what am I supposed to do? Like, honest to God, what am I supposed to freaking do? It's a terrible situation. Really terrible. That could have ended a lot worse than it did, so I'm probably grateful that it didn't. Because, you know. So yeah, let's try and redux this. This is not a difficult stage 1 mid-boss, but it is probably one of the most entertaining in comparison to, like... Well, Kisame was annoying in comparison. She and I guess Wriggle's spell card was really irritating. Other than that, they're not generally too hard. I mean, they're not supposed to be. It's stage 1 mid-boss, but still. For this right here, make sure that you memorize where these fairies are going to come down, because on Lunatic, as soon as they appear on the screen, they're going to be gunning for you, so whilst their pattern is static and you can sort of get away with it even if you don't memorize it, it's still much better to memorize it. And then here you want to make sure you get both the same colour, and I choose green because I want max bombs in the next stage, and that can happen. If I don't bomb, that can happen. So yeah, again, Tokyo, cramped and small. This is Nazarin, the mouse from earlier. And yes, no time to deal with her, because Reimu is all out for treasure, and that is all she ever does. In this game, she's like a greedy whore, so there you go. Yes, I said it in an LP, so fucking what? I'm annoyed at this point, okay? I'm like allowed to do this. Anyway, she calls Reimu dumb, which is perfect because that's exactly what she is, and that smug face is awesome. Nazarin herself is awesome. This fight is great. This is her hardest attack right here though, and usually it's not too hard, but you do have to be careful of staying in the center with it. It's being very tame for me this time actually. Yeah, you have to be cautious of staying in the center of that because it can and will, if you are not careful, wall you in. Anyway, both spells are static and should never be failed, which is exactly why I have freaking like 5 outtakes on these ones by now, but oh well. This attack right here tries to be more intimidating than the original one by being continuous fire, but honestly the fact that there's less of them means that it's not as dense, and density sometimes rules over intimidation of continuous stuff. Anywho, Pendulum Guard. Once you have done that first wave by dodging it to the right, just alternate between left and right every cycle. Cycle being every time the pendulums fan outwards, I guess. And it's really, really easy. If you're using Reimu B, you'll have to do one more wave than that, but it's not a big deal. Very easy attack that most people seem to hate just because they can't always damage the boss. But really, you can't always damage the bosses anyway, because sometimes they move out of your way, and unless you're using homing, then sucks to be you. So, stage 2. I really do not like this stage at all. The background is a bit uninspired. Those bullets are kind of weird. They're like 5 bullets in one. But yeah, the background is just this cloudy thing. It's really not that great. And the other thing that's really not that great is these guys. These guys like explode when, you know, they like shrapnelize themselves when you go ahead and kill them. And you really want to go ahead and kill them because otherwise they're going to follow you around the screen for all of eternity, and it's just not a good deal. Sane B is very bad at killing them though, so you have to bear that in mind when you are using that shot type. This is like probably her worst section of the game in terms of actually being able to do stuff. That was possibly too early. But I think, no, it's okay, because I just go ahead and do that instead. I'm just going to bomb this actually, because I really need to get the stuff at the correct time, so there we go. Yeah, usually I'm much faster than that, but I messed up, so whatever. Here, this mid-boss spell card is really, really annoying, and I don't like it. It's a test of your keyboard sensitivity, and when you're not using Reimu, it's a really, really nasty attack. So, good job I'm using Reimu, right? This bit here is usually not too bad, even for the lack of range that I have here, because usually I just stay central and it's fine. Yes, that's how it works. So here, you stop firing for a little bit so that you get the UFOs of the type that you want, and because I used a bomb earlier in the stage, I'm going to try and not bomb this, but I can't guarantee, no I can't not bomb that, it's not going to work this time. So I'm going to try and get a red UFO at the end of this stage. I'm not going to get to fill it up, but if that's okay, because what I really want is that single life piece. In this game, as you may have noticed from the first stage, every boss gives you a life piece at the end of their fight. This includes the mid-boss and stuff, but there is an odd number in this game, because there's a couple of stages which don't give you a life piece at the mid-boss. And of course, the final stage doesn't give you a life piece at the end boss, because it's the final stage, it would be pointless. So yeah, I kind of want that extra piece, and I only want one red UFO to start the next stage with anyway, so it's fine. But that has nothing to do with Kogasa over here. Kogasa is a yokai of surprise. I believe the other surprise is that her actual like girl avatar is not really the yokai, it's the umbrella. I don't get quite how that works, but oh well. She is surprising for being the most bullshit Stage 2 boss in the entire series. I'm a little bit better than I used to be against her, but a lot of it is RNG, and that does not help. So, her first attack is pretty tame, the rest of them are really stupidly hard, so that's a thing. This right here, Power Soul Star Memories, I have never captured this, I probably never will capture this either. I saw Cactu do some really, really weird, funky thing with this, but yeah, don't ever try and capture it. I try and do as much damage as I can because I want to get some of my bomb out on this attack, because this attack is another test your keyboard one, which I have not failed yet today actually. That's quite something. But oh well. Oh, this is RNG at its finest, and I did get hit there, so that was a good death bomb. RNG at its finest, it's a terrible attack. And then the last one, there is a distinct way of doing it, and it involves not staying too high up the screen and hoping that you don't get walled, but I got walled, so I have to bomb. One bomb on every spell from Kogasa is not a terrible result, because Kogasa is complete bullshit, and really, while I can capture the last two spell cards, they surprise me far too often, and it's just not worth trying to capture anything from Kogasa. Seriously, not worth trying to capture anything. She is just bullshit. But that's kind of the rage talking at the moment a little bit. I have one bomb to fight quite often recently, and that's fine, but I didn't have the luck today. So